Hey guys, we are live. I decided to go live tonight because there's a lot of talk with about Cardi B. How you doing? I see you guys starting to come in. There's a lot of talk about Lovelyti and Tasha K and Cardi B. You are watching Shirley's World. For those who may not know, Shirley's World is where you get out there and you share what's going on in your life. It is a happy Friday in beautiful, hot as hell Southern California. For those who live here, it is truly hot as hell. And I'm going to double check, always double check to make sure this stuff is working. You want to make sure it's working because sometimes it says it's working and sometimes it isn't working. But I see they've got someone's coming in, so this is good. I want to weigh in on this because this is huge to me. This is huge to me because YouTubers are becoming more and more relevant in our society. Where it was just a social media platform before, it's no longer that. It is about reality. Hold on, I want to close this door. So it is no longer a social media platform that people just come and watch channels. It becomes the essential part of our daily, weekly being. Meaning that if we want to watch certain shows, we don't watch the Netflix and the Hulus and TV. We go to Twitter, Facebook, or especially YouTubers to find out things. But let's look at the subject matter I got ahead of us. Now you'll say, surely this has nothing to do with politics. Oh, but it does, honey. It ain't nothing but a game. Ain't nothing but a game they playing out there, because the game that this society is doing is everybody wants to be number one, right? Everybody wants to be on top of the game. Everybody wants to be the person to go to on the know-it-all. But politics is about money, numbers, and time. And that's what I want you to realize, that politics, listen to me, politics is about money, number, and time. And the reason I say that, because everything that you do in life equates around those three relevant issues. If it's your job, it's only a matter of time before you are replaced and you retire. If it has to do with something that you've always wanted to do, it costs money to do those things. And then if it has to do with how to get there, what do I need to acquire? Well, that takes time and numbers. There's numbers involved for you to be able to accomplish your goals, your dreams, and your aspirations. And so I would say, regarding Tasha K and Tasha K and Lovelyti, they are right in that category with Expressive and all the rest of them talking about this Cardi B story. So for those who have been under a rock and don't know the story, there's this young lady that's out there. If you go to Lovelyti and Tasha K's channel, they will update you. I'm not here to regurgitate which is already on the platform. What I want you to realize is how smart these ladies are, or maybe how creative they're being on making sure that their name gets out there. These two ladies, as well as other women who are out there on the platform, are going after Cardi B. And the reason why they're going after Cardi B, because Cardi B is an opportunist like the rest of us. When you guys know, this girl came on the scene, she was a stripper, just like Amber Rose, just like China. They all come on the scene. These are strippers that strip up and come up in this game. Well, when it comes to understanding the gossip circuit, everybody goes to Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams has been the essential queen of the gospel circuit for the last 10 years. She just celebrated, or more than 10 years, because she was on radio prior to that. Prior to that, she was on radio. Okay. But let's look at the thing as a whole. Wendy Williams, her show has been on the has in its 10th season, and Wendy Williams is 53 years old. Wendy Williams has health issues. Okay. These women know it's about to peak, to be their time. All they got to do is keep pushing, keep building. All these people are doing YouTube videos. They're trending right now. Are they fighting? Do they get along? I see pictures of them together. They were in LA. Yes, they were in Los Angeles for YouTube. Okay. They were here for the video, kind of like a Comic-Con thing where all the videographers get together and you get to meet your fans and you get to sign autographs, take pictures, blah, blah, blah. And that were people you may have never met before, who share the same platform, meaning YouTube, together. That weekend, they all got together, and then afterwards, I met with them, and I met with Phil and some other YouTubers. We took a couple of pictures and talked about the fate of Black America. But you all know this is not my platform, but I wanted to bring you some insight from what I met from my perspective of meeting with Tasha K and with Lovelyti. I would tell you that these two ladies are amazing. They are structured. They are strategists. Don't get it twisted. They're just not ranters, because there's a lot of people on YouTube, they rant with no data, no facts, no numbers, no state of an agenda. These women have facts in place. These women are going for the guns of Wendy Williams. Why? Why would they do that? Because that is their genre. That is their genre. So my question to you is, within lieu of that, well, who's the target subject matter? Well, the subject matter is Cardi B. And the validity of whose story is more true regarding Cardi B. But let's just take it down to the bare minimum. How smart is this bitch? I mean, I'm sorry, she's a stripper. And I know y'all got the Cardi B out there, and the Cardi said, you hating Cardi. I'm not hating Cardi. I'm making the point that Cardi has seized an opportunity, and she's a winner off of it. But right now, she's got some weak points, and there's people gunning for her. And there's people who want to know the story of the people gunning for her, and the storytellers are going, and they're gunning for Wendy Williams. See, there ain't nothing but politics. That's why I'm trying to bring you guys up on the game. This ain't nothing but opportunists who see an opportunity, who sees an opportunity, like myself talking about it. Wendy Williams at this point should look at the story and say, okay, now I know her people are following Tasha K. I know her people are using Lovelyti expressive. Shout out to all these amazing women who are in a genre talking about the circuit of entertainment and gossip, and bloggers that are out there following these celebrities and these TMZers. They're all following YouTubers. They're following them and basically probably watching them do their homework, and then coming in and picking up some trails and acting like they're the leading platform. But the bottom line is, you and I both know that we are not stupid. We go to the people who are hungry. So that's my second part. I said money, numbers, and time. And how hungry are you for getting into the game of the arena or whatever you want to be part of, whatever you want to grow in, whatever you want to learn in. If you go to, and I'll have at the end of this video, I'm going to have the links of these YouTubers, some of the gossip YouTuber women who I admire, who I think would be more credible to move forward through the circuit than Wendy Williams. And I'm not hating Wendy. I think Wendy has done well for the decades that she has been in place. But if she was smart to take herself to the next level, Wendy, shout out to her people. If I were you, I would, listen, if I were you, Wendy Williams, I would produce these women. I would start a show, and I would create a round table with these women. I'd give them their own show, and I'd be in control of the scenario and get paid. Because eventually, if you don't take them on under your wing, Ms. Williams, somebody's going to snatch those chicks up and put them under, honey. Because those queens are hungry, and they got the details, and they get the receipts. They are receipt queens. And after a while, they want them 7, 8, 9 digits or whatever digits they may come their way in a bigger platform than YouTube. And I know a lot of people say, well, it's been hard for people to transition to YouTube. Not necessarily so. Justin Bieber came from YouTube. And there are a lot of YouTubers who have transitioned who are very relevant today. But I really believe that Tasha K, girl, I'm going to give you props. You are staying on top of your game. You are staying on top of the fact that you know you're going to drag this tired-ass story to the end to keep people trending, doing videos, and talking on this matter. That's what she's going to do. Now, the Cardi B story, Wendy has covered a little bit here and there, the best of her own knowledge. These other young ladies have really digged in deep and got their foot in the ground, and they season it. They're taking advantage of it. So the question is, who's relevant today? Who do we watch that's relevant today in this subject matter? Do we go to people on regular TV? Do we go to people at Netflix and Hulu? Do we go to people on radio or Blog Talk Radio? Who's relevant today? The YouTubers are relevant today. That's what's relevant today. People who are on Facebook Live is trying to get into the YouTube space a little bit more heavily. They're now paying on platforms. So if you have a platform on YouTube and you were getting paid, now Facebook, depending on the numbers that you can circulate on Facebook, they have jumped into that genre. And they realize that YouTube is a platform they want to tap into, as well as Twitch. So, and all the rest of them out there. So look, the bottom line, I'm wanting you to realize, and I'm going to move on to another subject when we'll talk about networking, and I'll be talking to the people in the chat room. I know some of you guys are chiming in. If you got any questions, just start putting them in the chat room, and I'm going to start chiming in and reading them. and then addressing those issues. But I wanted to talk about the opportunity of relevant issues in your life, the opportunity of relevant issues in your life, and in the life of the YouTube and the Cardi B's and Miss Unwind and out there with Lovelyti and Expressive and all of them. They make it relevant because they realize there's an opportunity to seize with Cardi B. I'm going to tell you what's going to be the TikTok. Let me tell you what's going to be the TikTok, the bomb that will go off, the lights that'll come on, the story that will evolve regarding this story. Despite all the attorneys and the people saying, allegedly, I didn't mean this, allegedly, when Cardi B says unwind in one of her tweets, her post, her Instagram, when she talks about Lovelyti and she keeps bringing them up, and then when TMZ said Cardi B is fighting with a YouTuber, it's all over. It's all over. Because now they have basically solidified these women's platforms. Not that they weren't solidified before, but when mainstream media gives you that buzz, gives you that opportunity, and you done got your name out there, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. And don't think that Unwind and Lovelyti don't get along. Those are two great women. They share receipts. They communicate regarding each receipt. They realize there's enough space and opportunity for a lot of us out here on this platform where they would want Black women fighting against each other. Some of y'all got videos of saying, well, she said this and she said that. Yeah, they got you talking. They got you talking. They got me talking on something that I can care less about these bitches. Not the women, but that whole circuit of Cardi B. Because Cardi B coming up off of Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is coming off after Little Kim. I mean, come on, they just keep going and going and going. Everybody want to come up off of somebody else and claim they're the queen. They've always been a queen. They're original. They got it going on. Woo, 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 woo. You ain't not the original or nothing. There was always somebody before you. So you gonna gun for Nicki Minaj, just like Nicki Minaj gun for Kim. Okay, so come on, Little Kim. So everybody's gunning for somebody, right? Nicki and Cardi B is gunning for the opportunity. Hey, all my other stripper friends I see out there, I may not work with, but they came up. Amber Rose came up. Okay, China came up. I can come up, and whoever other strippers coming up. So I'm saying that for you to realize whatever circumstances that you are in this time, in this country, with all that gossip circuit going on, that doesn't even equate to your own personal life, how are you coming up? Because I'm telling you, these two women are networking because eventually they're going to get their show. Eventually they're going to get their spotlight and they're going to be ready. We have primed them and prepped them for their readiness. We watch them. We're loyal to them. We subscribe to them. Just like, thank God for all those who are following. Make sure you share this video and click the like button. I see many of you guys are coming in. I need you to start liking and following my videos. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to do more shorter videos because, see, I'm a little different. I'm out in the field and then I come in and I do videos and I give you data in my opinion. But it's hard. It's hard to be able to do this on a consistent basis and then get out there and prepare for events. Like we're getting ready to prepare for Politicon and we're getting ready to prepare for the Taste of Soul, and we're all excited for these things. But it's hard to prepare for these events, network with people, partner up and with other people, co-brand myself with other organizations. Shout out to the Urban League, who had an amazing event at Soul Restaurant in Hollywood, Black owned, operated, and executed. Mentioning Black owned, operated, and executed, do you guys realize that those women are all Black owned, operated, and executed? Maybe not all of Wendy, but the women that you see on YouTube, they own their channel, they own their content, they are the creators of their content, and they happen to be women of color, African American women, Black women. I mean, come on. These are the entities you want to support, you want to see, you want to grow if you are a person of this stature, and you want them to see them do well. But again, when you start co-branding and working and sharing receipts and sharing opportunities, like I was very grateful for the Urban League Young Professionals. These are people under 40 years old who got to meet and got to talk about what's going on in the community with business and opportunity. A lot of them had their own businesses or worked for a company or wanted to know more about a different company, wanted to know where there was money and opportunity to access a small business and grow a business. You know, these are the type of people that you want to hang around. You don't want to work with people that don't bring something to the table. Because if you're going to start engaging in events and opportunities, you need to make sure that your time is well allotted to be in the right space. So I'm going to start doing little short videos of the photos that I take at these events, because I can't videotape them all the time. And then I'm going to come in a live stream like now, and then I'm going to go back and do some of my more informational videos where I break down, give you websites, give you time and dates, and then show you clips of some of the issues that are current right now, like the Supreme Court justice, what's going on. So let me look at some of the questions out there. Hi, Shirley. Tried to hit you up. Oh, okay. Well, email me. That'll be great. Stump Down's out there. Stump Down, you want to talk about Maxine Waters. You know, the interesting part about Maxine Waters, Stump Down, I'm just going to cut to the chase. Mama getting old. Mama almost, she moving towards 85, 80 something. She lying about her age probably, but this lady's really old. She's really, really old. She's not relevant in the community. But what happens is we vote people based on name notoriety. That's how we vote. We vote people based on their name. We don't vote people based on their abilities to execute, on their abilities to prove that they have showed that they're able to do the job and do the job well. She's not doing her job well. We can't figure out one piece of legislation that she's put through that has helped Black people or the community in Los Angeles. Then why do they keep voting her in? Because she's established. We are doing wrong for ourselves by supporting establishers. We are. We are doing wrong for ourselves by supporting establishers, and we should not do that. We should look at each candidate no matter what party they're with, because you know what they really are? They're the people purple eaters. That's what I call them. They come along and they're people purple eaters, and they're here to eat us all up and take our opportunity, takes our tax dollars, because it's about local, state, and federal, right? Because if you don't have local, state, and federal understanding that the local people and the dollars that are generated through your taxes, through your houses, through whatever you're doing in your daily living of operating, of purchases and goods and other things that go towards the state and your counties, those monies are supposed to be allotted to better your life, to better your community, to keep your streets safe, to keep the fire department running, to keep hepatitis A out of the states where some areas it doesn't, to keep trash clean, to keep accountability to the infrastructural layout of our country. But if we don't realize those tax dollars are not being spent right, which they're not, they're being manipulated by candidates who are in office who we like or dislike, but we act like they're celebrities. Elected officials are not celebrities. Elected officials are there to work in your best interest. That is all part of what? Like I said earlier, money, numbers, and time. And then there's execution. Money, numbers, and times, and execution. If you do anything over and over again, you'll master it. These people have manipulated the American people. They have manipulated the inner city communities. They have manipulated a relationship that they're the best person for the job of what they're not doing. And instead of holding them accountable, and instead of not voting them in, and instead of going down, questioning them on their acts and on their ethics and on their execution of building a safe environment for you and our communities, we just let them do whatever they want. Whose best interests are they working for? Now, I want you to go online. I want you to look up. These are the things I want you to look up. I want you to look up your state. So let's say you were to type in California. And what you'll find out if I type in California, I'll go to california.gov or California, and I can find out who my elected officials are. I can find who my senators are, school board, water board. At the end of this video, I'm going to give you all the links down below where you should go. I'll use California as an example. And the reason I'm sharing that, because knowledge is power of understanding what your story will be, how you can seize this opportunity to move forward to the next level. Now, what opportunity do you have before you? None of you got an idea what your opportunities are. You have no clue of where you're going. You have no clue where you're going. You come home, you watch these shows, you get to gossiping, you say who you like, who you don't like, you curse each other out, or you just kind of keep moving through time, because time waits on no one. Let me say that again. You keep moving through time, but remember, time waits on no one. But I want you to take time tonight and think about your life. Think about the accountability to yourself, the story that you could change in your life tomorrow, and the opportunity you can seize today by watching this video and looking at holding yourself accountable. Because the Urban Game Changers is about holding yourself accountable. But many of you guys don't do that. You don't hold yourself accountable. You don't hold the family members around you accountable, and it becomes a failed situation. Let me look at some of the questions that some of you guys got out there. Some says true. Way too real says hi, Shirley. Alfred's out there. Hi, Alfred. How you doing? Alfred says I don't do Democrat no more. You don't do crack, baby. Crack is whack. Crack is whack. Crack is whack. I heard that. Yeah, I never did crack is whack. I never walked away or took the red pill because I've always been standing. I've always been a Republican. Are the Republican the best party ever? No. Or is the Democrat Party the best party ever? No. What's the best party ever? You. You making a conscious decision. You making a conscious decision to figure out what party is going to work and the best ideology, lifestyle that you want to better yourself. So what's the difference between a Republican and a Democrat? Just to tell off of Alfred's posting in the chat room. And if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat room and make sure you put those thumbs up. I mean, you guys are coming in. Thank you for liking. The more likes and share and put that thumb up. YouTube will get our numbers up, and I'll do more longer live feed videos like you're seeing here. So going back to Democrats and Republicans, Democrats believe in way more government expansion. They believe that the government needs to intervene and act in your behalf. That government should take care of the people. That government needs to have programs. These programs are supposed to be designed to work in the people's best interests. But what we've seen is these government programs are used to skim away from the people and in line the politicians' pocketbooks and opportunities for themselves. Now you say, Shirley, how do you know that? Well, look at Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters has those who say 4.5, 3.5. She's got a multi-million-dollar house, okay? She's got a $5 million house, $4 million house, right in the heart of outside of her districts, not even in her district. And a matter of fact, in the state of California, they just voted that you don't have to live in your district to be a congressional leader. Listen to what I'm saying. They said in California, you don't even have to live in your district. Somebody tell me, how can you be an elected officials and you have no connection to the people? Because the people don't hold you accountable. Because the people don't say, oh, hell no, you're going to live in this rat-ass neighborhood just like me. If I vote you in, I want you to be in this ratty-ass neighborhood just like me. But you guys don't say that. You let these people in Detroit, Chicago, and Atlanta, all shout out to those people who are urban game changers who are watching and those amazing cities that are trying to recoup and restructure themselves. You guys vote people who don't even live in your district. That don't make no kind of sense. None whatsoever. Democrats. Republicans believe in less government. Republicans believe in entrepreneurship. Many times when you talk about business to the Black community or people who may not be familiar with business, I hear them come to me and they'll say, Shirley, I want to start a small business. I say, great. Well, what's your plan of action? I want to either get a loan or I'm going to get a nonprofit. Now, listen to what you're saying. You want to be a nonprofit. Do you understand how to be for profit? Do you understand that nonprofit works together with for profits? Most of them don't. Do you realize a small business loan is one of the hardest loans you can get? Instead of saying, Shirley, I'm a Republican and I've understood it, I've studied LLCs and S corporations. I've sat back and I said, you know what? I want to learn about entrepreneurships. And I've found out mentor programs or mentored myself by going online and using social media like YouTube, the platform I'm on now, and finding people who have kindred spirits like myself. Now, what did I just say? What did I just say? I said to you, you're going to go online and you're going to find out somebody that got something just like you. Someone who has the same desire as you. You want to bake cookies. You're going to look online and you're going to find out all the cookie shows that have the highest trending on YouTube. You're going to go on regular search engines and you're going to find out who has the best cookies selling and the latest cookie store that opened. And you're going to study these people and you're going to find out their story. You're going to go to Wikipedia. You're going to go stories articles that may have been written up about that subject matter. Wikipedia, YouTube, search engine, stories. I gave you four. Hope you're writing them down. Rewind this video, read this video, watch it again. I gave you 4 where you can sit back and say, these are my ideas. How do I move forward through that? And then once you've done your homework, then you need to start sharing, not with everybody, because everybody gonna be happy when you're a visionist. When you've got a vision in mind or an idea or a plan of action, you're gonna know they're gonna be haters out there. They're gonna be people telling you you're not able to do it. They're gonna be people who tell you you're stupid, you're dumb, you're not intelligent, you can't conquer this. But stay with me, listen to me. What is your plan of action for your story to be commenced, to move forward without doing your homework? Because once you do that homework, you have to take that step of faith. You have to walk through those trials. And so I enjoy being a Republican because the Republican believes in less government and more self-empowerment. Republicans have people who are business owners. Republicans understand the benefits of a tax break. And that benefits goes towards who are entrepreneurs. And the benefits goes towards who are big corporations to help the people who aren't entrepreneurs, who are out there working their everyday life and who hopefully will be nice enough to pass down the break that they were given so that you can get a little bit of that return through that tax break that your boss or the company that you work for got to benefit under this administration. Look, you've got to look at every opportunity to the fullest and seize it, because if you don't, you fail yourself. You fail yourself because you're not conscious, you're not awake, and you're so busy judging everybody else, thinking that they got it going on, that you're missing the point. Okay, who else is out there? I'm going back to the chat room. Stop down. Thank you for coming in and moderating. I really appreciate it. True. My community such just discussed making better moves. WNW. You said, I was wondering who's at home. I was wondering that home is gotta pass down to. I wonder who's that's going to pass down to. What was going to get passed down? I'm not sure. You need to clarify that. So just clarify that. I'm going to go to the next part where you said, yeah, our community sucks about discussing making moves, better moves. It does. That's why I created this channel, because I want to talk about a better opportunity to make opportunities, to see opportunities. In my video where I said that we need to do things Black America in America instead of going to Africa, I hope that you guys were able to make in the comment section, look at the postings of the companies that I put there. I put Urban Black Business Institute was an organization that's out there helping African American people who want to start beauty salons, and they will fund you. Yes, they are funding Black businesses, even if your credit is shot. You're going to get a shot credit rating. So keep that in mind. Whenever you have shot credit, I'm in real estate. Shout out to those who are interested in selling or buying or investing. Reach out to me on shirleyhusar@gmail.com. I would love to talk to you and do some business with you. But keep in mind, if you come to me broken and got shoddy ass credit, you're going to get the shoddy ass response from the lenders because they're loaning you their money. But if you're able to work through all that and say, you know what, I still have this vision and I believe I can better myself, I'll take the hard money loan and work off the difference to bring my credit to a better status and then obtain my dream of whatever business I'm trying to acquire. So again, there's a lot of people don't realize we're all trying to better our moves, but there's people who want to suppress you. I've mentioned that in my videos where people want to suppress. They don't want to bless you. They want to suppress you. And if you don't wake up and you don't start using your mind and listen, stay focused with me. I want you to gather this information. I want you to take notes down, and I want you to put your name on the top of a piece of paper. And I want you to say, is this what I'm doing in my life? If you were to put one side what you're going through and what you want, is the outcome of what you want by what you're doing going to evolve you there? Is the outcome of what you want by what you're doing going to get you there, evolve you to that next level? And if it is, then you're on point. But if it's not, then you need to make some changes, because the haterators are out there. Okay, the purple people eaters are out there, meaning the Democrats and the Republicans, meaning the CBC and all these other organizations. Some of them are not doing the best interest for all of us. They're just not. They're just not. And so even though we still engage with them, I know many conservatives last week were at the CBC and they listened to what they had to say, and all they did was just do a raid on Trump. They took the can of raid and they just went off Trump. Mexican waters, hey, peach. I'm from God. I'm from God. You know, come on, lady. Come on. Because millennials ain't listening to you. Hell, I know I'm not listening to you, and the millennials ain't listening to you. So what is all this that we just gonna wait in the pinch and sit back? We can't do that. We have to be forward thinking. How do we think forward? We have a plan of action. So I want you to keep that in mind in that plan of action. Let me look at some more questions out there. I'm going to give you some websites, and in these websites, I want to give you people to go to and sites that will help you move forward. Shirley, what's up with Diamond and Silk and Black issues? I don't know. You have to ask Diamond and Silk. That's my answer. I don't know. I don't know. Do they talk about Black issues? I watch from time to time. I don't know these ladies. I've met them. Do I have a relationship with them? No. Have I met them? Yes. I met them during the Trump campaign. I was the surrogate for Donald Trump for 2016. And I was stumping for Trump, like a lot of us who were bold enough to put ourselves on the front line for a different vision and a different cause. The question is, am I utilizing what we've just got put in our office and holding it accountable? Because that's what we have to do. Okay, so I want to give you some sites. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to type them in the chat room. I want to give you some sites about networking. I want to give you some steps and format in networking. We've got about 30 more minutes, and I want to make sure that I get this across to you. So I started off this show talking about opportunists, right? People who take advantage of the situation and the subject matter. The subject matter is Cardi B. The situation is Cardi B. Story is out there about what she did with Nicki Minaj. Some girl came on the scene who was an ex-stripper, said, yes, this is so true. I dealt with this chick, and this is what she did to me, is saying. And then that story, not the Nicki Minaj, the Cardi B story, but that story, the validity of, is this information given to our favorite YouTubers true or false? And so part of them are saying, yes, it's true, and another one saying, no, it's not true. But the question before us of this show is, how do you seize an opportunity? Because these are opportunities on opportunities. That's what I want you to be conscious of this video. That's why I brought that up, because many of you guys don't see that there's games being played, that we are talking about game players. And while we're having conversations online and in chat rooms about it, what game are you playing to work in your best interest? Because in my life, the way I look at this is that Wendy Williams needs to be paying attention. Because Tasha K, Miss Unwind, honey, I'm going to sip me some water on that. And Miss T, it's very lovely, honey. These are not dumb women. These are very smart women. Expressive, shout out to her, the queen of her crown. Look, these women are opportunities. They take advantage of the story. They're going to run off of it, and they're going to build it up. And all they're waiting for is the TikTok. Now, what's the TikTok? The bomb of Cardi B just saying their name. Because once that bitch says their name, Cardi B says their name, or tweet out, or Instagram, or whatever they all keep talking about, it's all over. It's all over. Because then they have solidified these women's platform, and their numbers will escalate even higher. They'll escalate even higher. Why? Because they seized an opportunity. So I say all that to say politics is the same way. It's about seizing an opportunity to keep your name in the forefront. Look at Cory Booker. Ain't nobody thinking about that bald-headed, light-skinned Negro who's rapping like a woman. Ain't nobody thinking about him. But he's on this committee. He's on this committee for cross-examining, making a determination if we are going to confirm Kavanaugh. And I'm going to talk about that on Facebook. I'm going to really go more hardcore on the Supreme Court issue. I've got some really interesting detailing on that one on the Facebook channel. I'm going to try to do that tonight. But I just find it interesting how Cory Booker is out there talking about groping, and this woman who was 15 and he was 17. And look and behold, they got a channel. They've got an article with him even writing it himself, saying that he was sexually predating a woman. Now, everybody in this damn Me Too moment, you might want to look in your own closet, in your own pocket, in your own wallet, Cory Booker, before you get out there pimping and talking bad about somebody else. When you admit it in a story, a publicized story, I posted it on Facebook. You look it up on my Facebook, and I will even put it down below so that you guys can see the link. I didn't create this. This is an alleged. You can go to the article where they got that data, where they say he wrote this story. Okay, so I don't create this stuff. I'm just basically sharing, or almost like reading what's already online. So when people say I don't create this stuff. But I'm just saying, here's an opportunity where Cory Booker himself had issues, and he's part of the Me Too movement now. All this Me Too, Me Too, Me Too. How many Me Too's you gonna go back to when he was 10 years old and he flirted with a 6-year-old? It's become ridiculous. It has truly become ridiculous. But until it's not ridiculous when you in the front line, when it's your story, is it Cory Booker? See, he's an opportunist because he wants to be the loudest person in the room. Him and Camilla want to be Black Harris because Camilla Harris is not Black. She's Jamaican and Asian. I don't consider her a Black American. Or I'll just say this. She's not a DOS. How about that? A descendant of slaves. She's not from the descendants of slaves. She does not relate to the blood in this ground that was laid for the generations to follow that we live in today. There are many of us, like myself, a DOS, a descendant of slave, whose parents came here unwillingly, unwantedly, who came here as commodity and still used as commodity in this country today. We're still used as commodity through privatized prisons. But that's why I went to Washington, D.C., pivoting into Washington, D.C. You guys saw those videos earlier. Make sure you watch them. I know they're not long. They're like less than maybe 30 seconds to a minute. But you'll get to see some of the things I've been doing throughout this year. I'm not just ranting online. Many people are on these YouTube channels, and they go on, they rant, they're very overly animated, and they share information and data. And some of it's pretty good, and some of it's just ranting. But they're not engaged in the community. They're not on the street talking to the people. They're not involved with Washington. They're not making building relationship with policymakers. I was there with policymakers in Washington. That's why I was there. I was there to build a relationship with the White House communication directly. I wasn't there for a chicken dinner and just to get a photo op. I was there having conversations in rooms where we could not take pictures. So if I showed you the pictures I took with you, be, oh my God. But I'm not trying to get all the likes and the stars and thumbs up on that. I'm trying to make a change with legislation and opportunities, because it takes legislation for us to move forward. It takes a reconstruction to identify things like Lyndon B. Johnson did to divide the Black community, to stop us from communicating in the Black churches, to stop the Black family from growing. African-American families who don't even grow today, because Lyndon B. Johnson, that asshole of a president, what he did was divisive and destructive and evil. And thank God, I mean, many of you may not support President Trump, but he did an executive order that reversed them from taking away the 501(c)(3). For those who watched my video before, forgive me for repeating the story, but this is historical because Black people were afraid to talk about politics or injustice in our communities because they were afraid, listen, living in fear of losing money. They sold their soul to the devil instead of saying, I'm just going to be real and keep it raw and talk about things for the community. But as you know, like anything do over time, it gets watered down. Just like Christianity has become watered down, the fight for Christ and justice and righteousness has become watered down. So many ministers will say, I'm not going to talk about politics or Trump or any of that. We don't do that here. We just continue to ask you for money. When many ministers back in the 60s and the 50s, that's all they talked about was the injustice and civil rights for us. Civil rights. What does civil rights mean? What does it mean to be civil? What does it mean to be civil? You need to think about that. We say those terms in our mouths every day like it's nothing. But we live in a society. Thank you for following. Get those thumbs ups. I appreciate it. We have great people watching right now, and I really want to get those numbers, those thumbs up. But we live in a society where we're uncivil and people are uncivilized. They walk around in our community homeless. They're like the walking dead. Full families are lost. And look at the story that's out there. Don't you find it interesting? Shout out to one of my Facebook friends who's out in Oakland, who recently posted, the schools are, listen to this. The schools are getting washing machines and dryers put in the high schools because the kids' clothes are filthy. Their mamas and their daddies can't even afford to wash their clothes. They live in a facility that does not have washers and dryers. I can't even fathom that. I never grew up, and I grew up in a public school system where you got people. I'm gonna do a story on that. I'm not gonna talk much on this because I got some receipts on that one. Can you believe that? We're living in a time where people can't even wash their clothes now. They got to go to school to wash their clothes. And none of that, none of you guys are relevantly connected to that. You don't get that. Public schools got homeless children, and those children know it's a TikTok, meaning that once they get 18, what are they gonna do with their life? Because they can't even wash their clothes. So they've got a routine to go to school, and then when that routine ends, then what? You tell me. You tell me. So networking. I want you guys to make a decision, and a conscious decision. I want you to get out there, start networking with right people. One of the shows I did previously when I talked about money and opportunity, and that had to do with where do you go to network. And I told you, first of all, go to Meetup. Go to meetup.com. Type this up, meetup.com. And I want you to go in there and I want you to type in the things that you like to do, or you've always phantomed, or always wanted, or always desired. Because sometimes we're doing things we don't want to do. I want you to do something that you want to do. So I want you to take your pen and paper, and I want you to write down meetup.com. And then I want you to join that site. And I want you to look at a meetup or a hookup group in your community. And I want you to find out kindred spirits, meaning people like yourself that can add value to yourself and discuss issues regarding things that you like, just like you. Once you've done that, you start going to other places like eBright. Go to eBright.com, and eBright always has events going on. eBright has events in Washington, all kind of events. Some of these events even offer food for free. Yes. Now y'all know what I'm talking about. Well, Shirley, why am I going to these events? Because you want to go to events that pertain to things that you like to better yourself, if it's personally, if it's a personal trainer, if it's physically, or if it's financially, by having a second job or a career that you've always wanted by being your own business owner. I want you to engage with people by getting out of in front of this camera, out of away from your phone, and learn to talk to people. Learn to greet people. Learn to have the right body language, body odors. That's all I'm saying. Body odors. You know, smile when you look at people. Even if you don't like them, you go, this bitch is working my nerves. She just is stupid. But I'm going to just smile because I'm going to make sure I say what I need to say and move on. And then time yourself, because some people just rant. You might have to go to the bathroom and say, well, you know, I've got another appointment, but thank you so much. That appointment might be going to the bathroom. But whatever the case may be, you time yourself, you pace yourself, you make yourself greetable and presentable, and you open up your body when you go to these events. Because I've told you other sites to go to, richdad.com. I told you there's a section where it says classics and you play a game. I want you to play passive income games. I want you to learn that when you get your money, you need to have passive income. So in the future, you can build an opportunity of wealth where you don't work anymore and that there's income coming in. For those who want to learn that through people who specialize in wealth and opportunity. Gina Lofton is my mentor, Lofton. And she also has a book talking about the rat race. Make sure you look up Gina Lofton. She's on YouTube, and she shares an opportunity of equity and growth and finances that you can have in your life. These are things you need to know. Every day, there's so much knowledge that we become so full with knowledge that we become either overwhelmed or we just rather listen to all the bullshit. Let's just talk about celebrities. That's just don't cut it all the time. I mean, we do it as fillers. I'm just as bad. I mean, I preach to you, I preach to myself. Because I watch that same stuff too. But after a while, I realized, okay, let me get back on the high horse and do my due diligence and be proactive versus reactive and reciprocal, meaning that you're going to receive. Because all you do is receiving all those strange energies. And after a while, you have to bounce back and you have to be what? Proactive. Because when you're proactive, you are productive. And when you're productive, you are succeeding. And that's the key thing that we all want to be. Hold on, I'm going to try to read some more questions in the chat room. Oda says, I think Camilla Harris is a DOS. No, she is not. You might want to Google her name. I already did Miss Camilla Harris because she's in California. A Caribbean, Nope. She's not a DOS. So you can go ahead, you can look her up. Jamaican, Trinidad, wherever she's from, she's not a child of the indigenous slave tribe. So that's a fact right there. And let me tell you, the bottom line, she's supposed to serve the people, right? Let's forget about that. Let's say, what is her job? This lady is very biased. When you go to her office, I think she's in the Rayborn building, one of the buildings where all the senators are. She took over Barbara Boxer's position. The Republicans in California were weak, and they could have ran a really strong candidate, and they didn't. And they pretty much just gave, I'm like, what's going on outside? They pretty much just gave that seat away. And so she was able to see like she inherited the seat, and she's a hot woman. Her and Obama called her sexy or something. You know, Obama be saying some crazy stuff, like he was flirting with that white woman, you remember, with blonde hair. I'm drifting at Mandela's funeral. But anyway, yeah, he thought she was sexy. Someone said that he called her sexy. How true that is, allegedly. But Kamala Harris, just to let you know, when you go to her office, she has a sign that says, "We are all dreamers," and then she's got the rainbow flag for the gays. So when you enter her office, the first thing she's saying is, "Look, I support gays, and I'm an inclusive person where I'm talking about the immigrants and the illegals." So where does black people come in her category? It doesn't. She went to an HBCU school, and she is part of the Congressional Black Caucus, and she ain't even black. Not the kind of black like me and you. She's not that kind of black. She's that inclusive black. So that whole coalition and that whole organization, CBC, Congressional Black Caucus, they are not focused on descendants of slaves. They are not focused on the blood and the groundwork that has been laid before them with the people that have died in this country. They're not about that. They're about this inclusiveness and diversification. When I was at an event this weekend, 2 days ago in Hollywood, shout out again to the Urban League, there was this one girl, she wanted to argue with me on diversity. And she kept saying, you know, I know we're talking about black, but we want to talk about diversity. And I'm like, isn't this the Black Urban League? Soon you will not see anything called black nothing, because they want to be everything inclusive. Now, other cultures don't do that, but we are the ones that people ride on, the illegal immigrants and the immigrants. They ride on the backs of blacks. They ride on the backs of civil rights. They ride on the backs of what our people have laid in the ground. The blood in the ground was laid for this country by black people. And then when you say that, there's always but, and, or, oh, yes, and. They always want to justify that statement. Why can't they say you are right and let it go? They can't let it go. They can't get it to go because they have to justify their inclusiveness. I don't need to include everybody and everything in my life, and neither do you. Stop being so damn inclusive. And don't let people pressure you into saying you got to be inclusive. What the fuck do I need to be inclusive for? I don't need to be included on everything and everybody. I don't need to be on everybody's group page either. And doggone, I don't care if everybody don't like me. I'm not here to be your friend, your mama, or your groundskeeper. Come on now. Come on now. I ain't here to be that for you. That's a little Louisiana coming out in there. Come on now. And God, that's my father. God bless his people and all of his people still out there in Louisiana. But Crowley, Louisiana, I got family out in Crowley, Louisiana, and other parts of Louisiana. But I will say this to you. Look, you need to identify that those people going to try to come up off your back when you ain't got no legs to stand on. They just going to stand on a stump. They put all these stumps together, these little black stumps, and then they step over you. But if you guys were to stand up on your legs, the stumps would become legs and the height would get higher. The wall would be built and they would back the fuck back. They would back up because you are standing as a united front. You are working together for the betterment of your ideas, your vision, and us as a culture of Black Americans in this country. I think we respect everyone. If you want to, if they're worthy of the respect, don't let people say you got to respect them. Excuse me. Because some people are not worthy of the respect. But keep in mind, what they need to do is where's their contribution. Don't come into this country and ask for all this stuff and you don't contribute shit. But all you do is become an incubator. California has become an incubator of people. All they do is incubate and continue to have more and more babies. And that does not work in our best interest. Okay. So, no, Otis, I know you didn't say that she was true. I know you said you didn't like her. Oh, okay. So you said, okay. Okay. It was an interception. I apologize for that one. I see what you're saying regarding Kamala Harris. Yes, regarding Kamala Harris. We both know she's a little cuckoo for Cocoa Pop. Shout out to Steve-O right there. Hey, Steve-O, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. Thank you for supporting me and Frederick. Shout out to Brown and Mary and Tom. Thank you guys so much for Thomas, who's always supporting me, and Nick Brown, who's always out there. Many of you guys have always been out there on my backside. And Doug, I know he'll come in eventually. He's going to watch this. And you guys have always been so supportive and so gracious with your time and helping me, especially the moderators like Stump, who are able to regulate these people when they come in and do weird things. All right, next subject matter, and then we're almost done. Playing the game. I want to talk about playing the game and being in the game. October the 20th and the 21st, write this date down. October the 20th and the 21st, we are going to be in Los Angeles at the LA Convention Center. Urban Game Changers will be there. Our teams from around the country. We are in Florida, Texas, California, Louisiana, Arkansas, Nevada, New York, Pennsylvania. Hopefully, anybody else. And Florida. That's I think I got it. In California. And there may be some other states coming near you. If you want to get involved, make sure you go to urbangamechangers.com. If you need to DM me on YouTube or DM me on Twitter, or you can also email me at shirleyhusar.com. We will be there. And guess what? Let me announce it right now. Let me tell you who's going to be our special guest. Phil from the Advice Show will be there talking about his favorite subject matter. That's right. Phil from the Advice Show is going to be at Politicon. He will be at Politicon October 20th and the 21st. Phil from the Advice Show will also be at the Taste of Soul. Taste of Soul in Los Angeles, LA has 350,000 African-American people. We will be there on the scene. We will be talking to the crowd and interacting with people in the community. Boy, that's going to be a show to see. I'm going to try to video as much I can to show it out to you. We're going to get some videographers. We're going to have some roundtable discussions. We're going to have our own roundtable and live streaming out of our booth at Politicon. We would hope that when we live stream that you guys will watch us live, that you watch us live on YouTube, that you would also watch other shows and other YouTubers that we're bringing along. Afro Synergy, T. West himself has confirmed he will be at Politicon. So write that down. T. West from Afro Synergy has confirmed that he also will be at Politicon October 20th and the 21st. He is also going to be at the Taste of Soul LA October 20th. So Taste of Soul LA is only on October 20th. Politicon is the 21st and the 20th. We are all going to be there. Great time, great opportunity. There's going to be some great soul food at Taste of Soul. If you want to come out, I know they give a lot of free stuff and they make you pay, but you don't have to pay to come to the event. It's a street fair. It's going to be great. We're going to be interacting, talking about current issues regarding illegal immigration in the Black community, white supremacists. That's going to be interesting, right? We're going to talk about education. We're going to talk about the 25th Amendment. Everybody's talking about impeaching Trump. Does it really apply? And how will that affect Black people? We're going to talk about judges. We talked about the Supreme Court judge being vetted in, Brett Kavanaugh, who will be confirmed, by the way, just to let you know, to put that on record. He's going to be confirmed. But what about the local judges and how they affect our life? What about the 3 strikes you're out law and how that affects our lives? We keep talking about prison reform. What about the rest of us who are not in prison, who want opportunities and can't seem to find them? What are the things that are blocking Black people and Black opportunities? Why can't we not have conversations? That's my question to you. Why can't we not talk to one another and have a serious sit down on matters and subject matters? Why are the children of the indigenous slave tribe, why are the descendants of slaves working with people who are immigrants of slaves, or people who are Black Americans, or people from other regions of Black society, not having a conversation from the conservative and the liberal progressive point of view without being tortuously rude, without being tortuously mean and biased and vicious to each other? Why are Black people so damn vicious? That's all I want to know. Because I think if we can get past all that and we can work together and have a civil conversation regarding our community, holding elected officials accountable, holding ourselves accountable, looking at the whole urban perspective of the game, because it ain't nothing but a game. And it changes when you and I can come to the table and find common ground. Your life is about moving forward and finding common ground. But if you cannot move through that common ground, if you've not sat back and made your own notes and said, this side is what my issues are, this side is what I'm going to do better, but you're so busy looking at that guy and that issue and that celebrity and what they doing, and that you don't realize that the people who do that, like Lovelyti and Unwind, they're going to get a check. They're going to get a check about what they're doing. They have built their platform the correct manner. And don't get trusted, they're capitalists. Shout out to Miss Lovelyti, and I must get some of that tea and start sipping it on my show. Because I shout out to that lady. I love the fact that she went ahead and branded her name. She went out there and got her attorneys, and she went out there and she has her publicists. She has her cups. She has her teas. And shout out to Miss Unwind, who's going to come out. She has her corks and her wine line. I mean, come on. These people are what? Capitalists. These women are what? Capitalists. And many of us don't realize, oh, no, they're not capitalists. They are capitalizing off of your dollar while they're capitalizing off of your time. Stop looking at the word capitalist as an evil word. It is a word you use every day in your life. When you go work on your job, you get paid. And that check means that you get paid for the time that you put in. You are a capitalist. You capitalize off of that opportunity of the job. When you get a coupon or something in the store and they give you a discount, or they say today's Tuesday, you get free hot dogs if you buy some buns, you capitalize off of that meat for free that you may not eat that night by buying the buns, and you say, I'll freeze it, because in the future, you were able to seize and capitalize off of that situation. So assess the words and the vernacular that you speak to yourself and to others when addressing a conservative. And you say, I'm not conservative, but you do conserve, because if not, you would eat every night at a 6-digit restaurant. And there are those out there that are extremely expensive that we could never phantom. Or you just would go out every night and you eat at a very high-end $100 restaurant. Do you eat at a $100 restaurant every time you eat out? No, you don't. But you made a conscious decision to conserve and say, tonight, I decided to go buy a great steak from maybe Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, if you have those in your communities. Or you may go out to Buc-ee's, and get you some good prime meat, maybe if the Buc-ee's sells it. But I love Buc-ee's. Shout out to those in Texas who have Buc-ee's and those Buc-ee nuggets. Ooh, Jesus, them Buc-ee nuggets. I stayed away from Buc-ee nuggets. Buc-ee nuggets was adding Buc-ee booty on me. I ain't need no more Buc-ee nuggets. Anyway, I'm drifting. But back to the steaks. If you look at wherever you get it, you went to the market and you cooked your steak. That means you conserved. You did not spend as much as if you were to go to the restaurant. That was $100 a night. See, we all have a position on being a conservatism. Because by doing that, it places us in our mind to understand the opportunities that are there to conserve, so that when we want to be liberal, listen to what I'm saying, when we want to be liberal, when we want to spend more, we can. We can. So I want you to realize the word conservative is not a bad word. It's just a word that needs to be utilized more in our lifestyle. Is a word and a lifestyle that we need to implement and identify how it will help us excel to the next level. So when I tell you, again, to go to these meetups and these e-brights, go to the free ones. You say, sure, I ain't got money to go to all of these events. I ain't got no money to get there. I barely have money for the gas. You might say, I barely have money for the gas to go to these events. Then you plan your week out. Don't drink Starbucks every night. Don't eat out that night. Use that money to take the train, to take the bus, to have gas money. Go there knowing if they have little hors d'oeuvres, that might be your dinner for the night. But you're going to make sure you leave with 5 business cards. You're not going to go to these events and not leave with something of tangible substance in your hand. Something that's relatable that you can use in the future to call back on, so you can have a meeting with that person that you met. You might meet with that person later on and have some coffee somewhere, or meet up at another meetup that's free, that has free food, and say, hey, you know that meetup we met up at? Yeah. Well, we talked about cookies. Well, now they're talking about how to make sugar-free cookies at this event. Really, glucose-free cookies. I'm just giving you a hypothetical idea. So don't start thinking I'm baking cookies, because I'm not, though I can bake. But I'm just giving you an example. So you met that person at a meetup regarding one subject matter. You call that person up because you both what? Have similar kindred spirits on that subject matter. And then you meet up again. See, people who like the same thing will help you grow in whatever your vision is. But if you're not hanging around people that don't have that same vernacular, same energy, same drive, same desire, why are they in your life? They time consumers, they space eaters, they purple people eaters. They got you talking about politics and policies and personalities when you don't even know how to seize it. Look at these ladies. They are talking about Cardi B. Why? Because they want Wendy Williams' job. Come on, these ain't no stupid women. They gonna get that Wendy Williams job. Don't get it quit twisted. That old lady's getting old and she's sick. Come on now. Come on now. Let's keep it real 100. And what's the subject matter? A stripper. How long is that shit gonna stay in the news? How long is that rapper gonna last? You know, when backers are backing are either pulling away. But guess what? They're going to take advantage of that wave so they can get their name out there. And while they're doing it, what are they doing? What is Lovelyti doing? She got her cup and she got her tea. And it's on Amazon. She's getting paid, people. That is a smart woman. Okay? Same thing with Miss Wine. Miss Unwine got her one. Oh, she drinking too much. No. She drinking because y'all saw I like that. What's she drinking? I'm drinking water. But what is she drinking? She's drinking her latest wine. Soon you're going to find out she's going to have wine and wineries named wines after her. And when that happened, I'm going to say, did I not tell you that Tasha on Friday the 21st, 2018 is going to come out with her own wine line? Miss Unwine is going to have her own wine line, just like Miss Lovelyti has her own tea with her cups. And one's going to have glass, one's going to have cups. They're both products. They're both capitalists. So, what you doing? What you doing? Because you're so busy worried about what these women are doing and shedding negative or positive about them. What opportunities have you laid out for yourself to make your life better? Because if you lay out a betterment for yourself, just like them, look at that pattern. And look at the patterns that are before you. So I want to leave you on this note. For every opportunity, there's a greater opportunity. For every action is a reaction. For every non-action is the aftermath. We are living the aftermath of what is going on in society today. The question I have before you, though, is how are you going to make that work in your best interest? How are you going to move forward? Because, see, there'll be other Cardi B's in the future. I think she's a TikTok. She's going to come, she's going to go. We're going to be done with her. But what's going to really last is those who have the tenacity to endure, to do their homework, to get the receipts, like you see in Lovelyti and Expressive. Shout out to those amazing women who have phenomenal channels. And like Unwind, who identifies, hey, I'm going to ride this train, good, bad, or indifferent. I got my attorney, and all you got to do is say alleged, because this whole video is alleged, right? So if we're going to go alleged, that means we have the right to allegedly have a conversation on a subject matter. But while I'm doing that, I'm selling you a product, and that's me. I'm selling you a product, which could be teas or cups or wine. But let's take all that in consideration and look at you. You look at you, not these YouTubers. You look at you and you tell me what value do you bring to the table to orchestrate changes in your life other than this camera, other than watching, other than producing shows. If you are a YouTuber who's watching my YouTube channel or entertainer or whatever you're doing. Because if you can move through those doors, then you can exhalate a cash flow, which will change your life. A financial stability, a financial growth, an intellectual opportunity of networking, like I shared with you, to expand your vernacular, to expand your reach and your capabilities to grow, not to be suppressed, not getting caught up into that world, but to enlighten and to enrich your world. Because that is what I want to see you continue to do. I want to see you guys grow and be loved and appreciated. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. I'm going to go live on Facebook in another 10 minutes. I will be talking about Brett Kavanaugh, and I will be talking about the Supreme Court Justice case And there's a charade that is going on in Washington that affects all of us in the future. And I'm going to share some key points, which I'm not seeing in the news. That's where I go back into my arena. So thank you for giving me the time to kind of step out of it and talk about celebrities and YouTubers, because I want you to see how the political games that they are playing and the capitalist opportunities that they're seizing, that if you look at those same instruments and those same kind of strategy patterns, they can work in your best interest as well, as long as you can learn from them versus just watching them and being entertained by them. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.